I would have no problems driving this car every single day, commuting to work, long trips. Seat is extremely comfortable. The padding is very solid. Nothing's worn out in the seat. Hey, what's up guys? It's finally test drive day for the 1985 300D with 48,000 miles. This is the car that I got in Canada. It's actually in kilometers. Oh, and it's actually just back from the detail shop, so got all the protective plastic on here. Scott just got done with it. I literally just drove it. But 78,000 kilometers. That's something like 48,000 miles. It's in the 40s, which very rare. So let's go ahead, fire this thing up. Let me get my seatbelt on. So I just drove it back from the detail shop. So engine's already up to temperature. Oil pressure is perfect. RPMs are perfect. Let's take note of the clock. It is, what is that? Just about 1 o'clock. And here we go. We're gonna go on the normal route. Now keep in mind, I drove this car already for, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 hours. I can't remember, when I was driving it back from Canada into Washington State and dropping it off at Mercedes Source so my transport could get it. Well, the first thing I notice is the smoothness of the transmission shifts. Now, as most of you know, the 85 had a vastly different vacuum system, and we can point that out in other videos, but the vacuum system was all redone for 1985. A lot of people say call the component the blue flying saucer, which over here there's literally under the hood it looks like a blue flying saucer. That was the redesign. That was only for 85. It wasn't in 1984. So the transmission has a little bit different behavior than the earlier years. Very smooth. I didn't even feel the shift there. There we go. There's another shift. So we're going to take it down the normal route, and we'll go out on the Georgia Autobahn. We'll get it up to 80 miles an hour, or I guess that would be what, 160, 180 kilometers per hour. I'm not sure. I'll have to do that calculation in the video. But we can see perfect engine temperature, perfect RPM, very smooth. I also have the heat on, despite just redoing the R12 AC system. It is now officially cold in Georgia, so I have the climate control set. I have it set on about 70 degrees, and it's keeping the cabin perfect. This is a very quiet 300D. The big difference between 300Ds and 300SDs is one of the big differences is the noise inside the cabin. And this 300D is actually pretty damn quiet in here. They're not as quiet as the S-Class. So we'll just accelerate uphill. You can see there is no lack of power whatsoever. We'll take the turns up here a little quick like normal to test out the suspension. Not this one because there's some construction, but when we get on up the road. Very responsive throttle. Very healthy engine. Yeah, there's too much construction here, guys. Normally this is where I do my high-speed turns, right through here. I can already feel the suspension is absolutely fine. I didn't need to replace a single component underneath there. We'll also do our 0 to 60 acceleration. I'm going to test the transmission kickdown switch now. Oh, good. See how it kicked down a gear? Wow, this thing has some power. This is a healthy engine. Yeah, it was about 60 right back there. But yeah, we'll do our 0 to 60 test right up here. Oh yeah, very tight. I just took that turn really quick. There was very minimal body roll. Shocks are very good. Suspension is tight. There we go. Yeah, you know, anybody who says that 300Ds are slow and can't keep up with modern traffic, that's just not true. That's just because they have never driven a good one. These cars have no problem keeping up with modern traffic. The acceleration's absolutely fine. All right, we do not have a car behind us, so this is going to be a perfect chance to do our 0 to 60 test. And guys, I'm betting this is going to be the fastest 300D I've ever had. I have all the other videos showing the 0 to 60 times, and I can tell this low mileage engine is healthy. Ready? Go. All right, you guys watch the gauges. All right, we're gonna let off. That was quick. I'm guessing that was about 13 seconds, maybe 13.5. I'm getting pretty good at what it feels like now. But we're gonna get over here, just merge into traffic, and let's throw on our cruise control. We got the cruise control set. You can see my foot is not on there. Perfect RPM. That's about 70, 72 miles an hour. Fuel pressure's up, perfect engine temperature, smooth as can be. Now I want to go ahead and take her over to the fast lane and really get it up to speed here. There we go. There we go. The kick down worked correctly. Just kick down a gear. Yeah, I'm gonna have to slow down. They're not going fast enough. But there we go. Cruise. So there's our speed at about 3,300 RPM. This thing feels like runs like a sewing machine, guys. Extremely smooth, extremely powerful for a 300D. I mean, it's no Dodge Viper or anything, but but for a 300D, this car has plenty of power. Yeah, this is the healthiest 123 sedan engine I've ever driven. Now, also, I want to do a brake check, so we're going to go ahead and get over off this next exit. All right, we're getting off this exit here. I'm gonna do a brake check. All right, ready? I want you to watch the speedometer. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, extremely healthy brakes. There's a police officer in front of me, so I'm gonna stop recording for a minute until we're headed back the other way. Yeah, so I always try to point out one thing that stands out to me when I'm driving all of these vehicles. This one, I would say the thing that stands out to me is the smoothness of the transmission shifting, and I'm going to attribute that to it being the 85 model. A lot of people talk about the rear gear in the 85, and how you get better RPM when you're at highway speed. And to be honest with you guys, I've driven tons of 85s, I've driven tons of 84s and 83s. Most of you will never even notice the difference. It's just a couple of hundred RPM. It's really not significant. However, this is the 85, so you do get that gearing, which is slightly different. Let's go ahead and overtake this car. I'm going to use the passing gear there. Tons of power, super healthy 617. So that's the other thing I want to point out about this one. The transmission shifting and the engine power. We're going to see what that 0 to 60 time was. I'm guessing it was in the low 13s, which is very, very good for a 617 and a 4-door sedan. Do the cruise control again here. There we go. The cruise is set about 3,400 RPM. I'm guessing that's around 72 or so. I have to get used to my, oh, that's the other cool factor. So it's got the European feel with the kilometers. That is literally, that's the only difference between the Canadian and US spec 300D. One's in miles, one's in kilometers. Other than that, the cars are identical. They're both, it's not actually Canadian spec and US spec, it's actually a North American spec vehicle. And for Canada, of course, they put in a kilometers cluster rather than a miles per hour cluster. So let's take this exit here. Maybe I can do another brake test, but the brakes stopping power is very good. Yeah, I have no complaints about the vehicle. It's sorted and ready to go. Let's get a little space behind the car behind me. We're gonna get off this exit and do a stop test. All right, here we go. I'm accelerating. I'm gonna hit the brakes. Ready? Now. Those are some good brakes. All right, guys, that's about it for the test drive. I can't wait to see that 0 to 60 time when I edit the video. But yeah, transmission shifts smooth, shift points are perfect, engine is very powerful. Engine temperature, you can see after horsing around like that, we're right at just above the 80-degree mark, which is the perfect position. That's exactly where it's supposed to be. And this car is fully sorted, 48,000 miles, 1985 300D. Scott, the detailer, he said it's the nicest 300D he's ever seen. I agree. This is the nicest 300D I've ever seen. So, Dr. Workman, thank you very much for the car. It's beautiful. You took amazing care of it. And thanks everyone for watching the series, and I will see you guys next in the walk around video. Take care. Oh, and last thing I want to point out, you can see the clock is working. Remember, we started just a little before 1 o'clock. And you can also see the odometer. It's correctly rolling over according to where we started the video. Climate control working perfect. I've got it on auto now in the middle switch. And for those of you that want to watch some more driving of the car, I'll just keep recording all the way back to the shop. Here we go. Here's a good place where we can show the power. This is a pretty steep hill right here, and we are going to accelerate going up the hill. See, look at that. There's no shortage of power. We just accelerated all the way up that hill. A lot of people will tell you their 300D, it goes so slow up hills, and that's because they don't have good, healthy engines in their cars. When these engines were taken care of, regular oil changes, filter changes, there's no shortage of power at all. You guys should know that now from watching all my videos and seeing the nice healthy engines and good condition vehicles. I would have no problems driving this car every single day, commuting to work, long trips. Seat is extremely comfortable. The padding is very solid. Nothing's worn out in the seat. Let's do our climate control adjustment, make it a little warmer. There we go. She's running perfect. Exactly how an 85 300D should be operating. Again, accelerating uphill. No shortage of power at all. All right, guys, that is it. She is going in the garage because it looks like it's going to rain, and I will do the walk around video tomorrow. Take care. Unbelievable 48,000 mile 300D.